There is a kind of poor mindset called survivorship bias, but the poor often don't realize it. Not long ago, I had a friend who suddenly fell into a dilemma of life and career, which surprised me. My friend used to work as a middle manager in a design company, with a salary and treatment that was quite enviable, and there was still room for further development, with a bright future. But a year ago, my friend learned that his rural cousin was making some kind of short videos, doing small internet entrepreneurship, and earning a lot of money, with an income of 30,000 to 50,000 yuan a month at best. This made my friend, who was getting a fixed salary every month, very tempted. He also wanted to make a fortune from the short video dividend, so he resolutely quit his job and went home to study short videos. But the result was disappointing. In this year, my friend spent a lot of time, energy and money, constantly buying courses, learning, and spending a lot of money on learning from masters. He kept updating his short video content, but in the end his income was pitiful, which put his friend's life and career development into trouble. In fact, there are still many people like my friend who fall into the mindset of survivorship bias, thinking that most people make money and they can too. But in fact, the short video industry also has a threshold, and only a few people really make money. Most people end up being leaks. This kind of thinking occurs in many people. If it is not corrected, the result is cognitive bias, going astray, and losing a lot in the end. We also call this kind of thinking poor mindset, which many people find hard to realize. What is survivorship bias? So what exactly is survivorship bias? There is a concept in statistics called survivorship bias, which refers to the result of only seeing information that has gone through some kind of filtering, without realizing the filtering process, and therefore ignoring the key information that has been filtered out. How to understand it? It means that the information we get often comes from survivors. Dead people don't talk. At this time, the information may not match the reality, resulting in our judgment errors. Just like many people always think that the bosses are all those who didn't do well in school when they were young. Indeed, some people who are not good at academics have active thinking and are good at doing business, but such examples are relatively rare. And people always tend to pay attention to these few successful examples. Those who are good at academics but end up miserable are also more concerned by people. In the end there will be a fallacy, reading is useless theory. But in fact this is not the case. It is survivorship bias at work. Similar to this are other people's wives are better, pigs can fly at the wind vent and so on. They are all cognitive biases caused by survivorship bias. How to reduce the harm of survivorship bias? Below are some tips for that. 1. Overcome herd mentality. The harm of survivorship bias to people is still relatively large. If we want to reduce its impact smoothly, the first thing we have to do is to try our best to overcome our own herd mentality. In fact, everyone has a herd mentality. But the result of following the crowd is often impulsive punishment. I believe many people have experienced it. Therefore, no matter when we have to learn to think independently. Be objective and calm in analyzing problems instead of blindly following the wind or going with the flow. 2. Get used to reverse thinking. Under the influence of survivorship bias, many people will feel that they must be lucky ones. For example, buying stocks can make big money, buying lottery tickets can win prizes even though most people always lose money, but there are always fearless ones rushing in. Therefore this requires us to have a reverse thinking before doing anything. Indeed, buying stocks, buying lottery tickets can make money, but you should ask yourself why you will become that survivor. Why can you catch the wind vent? Of course, if you find out legitimate reasons you can also try it, but if you have no reason, I advise you to think rationally, analyze according to the actual situation and don't act blindly. 3. Improve personal cognition. Of course, one of the fundamental reasons why survivorship bias affects many people is that everyone's cognitive level is different. People with high cognitive levels may avoid many pits and be able to grasp opportunities better with a higher chance of success. But people with low cognitive levels may make wrong judgments because they only know some superficial information, which may cause losses in the end. So we have to pay more attention to learning and improving ourselves at ordinary times. Facing any unknown things, we have to have a learning attitude and fully understand relevant information so that we can make fewer mistakes. Survivorship bias itself is a concept of statistics, but this phenomenon also often appears in everyone's process of dealing with people and things, leading us to judge errors and miss opportunities. Therefore, we must face up to this phenomenon, overcome this cognitive bias, do well in the above 3 points mentioned, and try to reduce its impact. So, do you think you have a psychological cognition of survivorship bias? Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.